good practice. Thursday, typical Thursday, getting to where we need to go. Been one of our better weeks. Hopefully we can take it to the field and keep good balance on the offense and running, throw. Defensively, some of those young guys keep playing better. Hopefully they'll get the carry to the field. I thought the secondary looked really good this week in practice. Up front guys, linebackers, had a good solid week when we went against each other. I noticed the difference in the defense. Kicking game, we kicked the ball good. So again, we've got to keep getting better, keep taking it to the field, and be ready to play on Saturday. Questions?
Speaking of the secondary, you said Darby and those guys were feeling better than they were from before.
Oh yeah, they're still. I mean, they were never 100. They're getting right now. This is the first week I've seen them really flying around, be 100%. I mean, look like the quickness and surge and pull, and I mean, they were good, but they weren't fully to where they need to be. And I can see a difference in them right now.
I was going to say they didn't have that like burst, I guess.
No, I mean, shoot, you got pulled hamstrings now, and things don't just heal up.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They look healed now though. No, we're going to go out there. We got to make the identity of this team. Make sure this team we play great. They're in the rotation, but they will be in the rotation. 15 and 1 will definitely be in that rotation, and 13 will be ready to play. So he can get in there. So they will be in because they're ready, not just because they're with Jameis, because they're some of our best players. They've earned the right to be in that rotation. I mean, playing really well, practicing well.
How'd you feel Eligwe looked this week?
Really good. I was very pleased. I mean, he's flying around, athletic. I'm anxious to watch him get on the field. I really am. Special teams and on defense.
How many snaps you think you might see, or do you have a plan of?
No, I mean, I get a feel, but I mean, he ought to be ready to go. He's practiced hard for a couple of weeks now, and getting that. We'll play it by ear how he goes on the game, but we'd like to get him to 20, 40 snaps somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm. Jimbo, it seems like you guys haven't had a short field much offensively. It seems like you had to drive 70 yards.
We've had we had 3 last game of 80 yards or more. We've had like 7 or 8 on the year like that. I mean, it is field. That's why I say field position is a critical thing now. And sometimes when we start getting them, kickoff coverage starts it. You notice when we start scoring and then kickoff coverage, them down inside that 20. So even if a guy gets a first down, you still get a little shorter field to play on. You know what I mean? If they only get 1, they get 3 and outs, of course, it makes it real good. But special teams has a big part to play in that, and our return game and the punt return game, we got to get a little bit better. It's a great point.
Turnovers also.
Yeah, turnovers. But you don't sit and worry about turnovers. If you sit and try to get turnovers don't come. Turnovers come when you make the smart play. Turnovers come. They come in bunches. I've been on great teams and never got turnovers. So I don't put an emphasis. You try to get them, and you coach for them. But if you coach too hard, they don't happen. They'll happen when you do things right. Just go tackle well, cover well, pressure the quarterback, and all of a sudden they just magically appear when you start making smart plays.
Does that affect how you play offensively at all if you're not getting turnovers? Because I guess there's that chance turnover margin could go the wrong direction.
No, I don't affect how you play. No, you still got to stay aggressive. You still got to go score points and make drives and and get your guys the ball. They don't change how you call plays.
As a coach, is there a point when you're calling plays that you find yourself getting in a rhythm, like offensively?
Oh, no doubt. When you get that running game going and keep diversity, and Jameis is seeing the field and mixing the ball around and getting the ball to different people. I mean, and the guys are, they get that bounce in their step. There's no doubt. And that's why I'm starting to really feel good, because those young receivers, tight ends, the backs, are all, if the ball has to go to them, you're going, good. That doesn't bother you, So, that's when as a play caller you can really loosen up and make decisions, and that's what you're starting to see in our offense right now.
Did you feel like there was a certain point on Saturday, you can kind of remember that, where it started clicking a little bit for you?
Yeah, I really started the second quarter there. We started moving the football, and we come out, even though we had the turnovers in the second half, still felt what we were calling. We were trying to be very aggressive, and didn't care if the ball went to Herman or Travis or Bobo or Kermit or Rashad or Nick or whoever got it. You saw a lot of guys get distributed the ball, so that didn't bother us a bit. Felt very good after that.
Well, Wake Forest has generated a lot of turnovers. Is there any theme to what they're doing?
They blitz. They keep multiple packages in the back. They give you a lot of different looks, and they play aggressive defense. They've been a good defensive team for a long time. Play hard.
Offensively, are they pretty different than what they ran under Coach Grove?
No, not a whole lot. They're still the last part when Coach Grove was there. They threw the ball more and spread it out, and that's more what they're into now.
Not as much of a misdirection stuff.
There's still some, but not like you thought of Wake Forest back in, I guess, when I first came to Florida State, like the late 2008, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. So I thought they even changed since I was, when I became the head coach. I thought they changed a little bit to throwing the ball more, and with Tanner Price and some of those guys. Had a couple of really good receivers while I was there.
On the radio show last night, you talked about a play where Bobo for a touchdown pass that you run with him in a different position.
Mhm.
When you do that, do you install it just so that everybody learns one position first? Or do you install it
No,
so
they
all
learn the
install it
concept.
at the same time?
You learn here's the concept. When this is called 1, 2, and 3, run this. If you're the backside, you run this. So you can once you learn that, you can get moved around. So that's the way you can create matchups that you want on a defense. If somebody's tagging a guy or moving a guy, you can move him, get him a ball somewhere else. And if they move people with him, and you like to match up on the other side, you can go, or they roll coverage to whoever is implicated in that. So you teach conceptually. Now that's why it takes receivers and different people time, because you say, well, how do you do this with them? Well, they just learned the first part of it. Then they maybe then you learn what the guy beside me does. Then you may learn what the guy on the backside does. That takes time. And that's what you're starting to see out of those guys now, that you feel comfortable putting them in the game in different spots.